Welcome back to another video of Nightwing. Now, last video, we saw KGBeast. He's back. And he got alerts that Dick Grayson, Nightwing, is back in town. Because you guys don't remember, KGBeast shot Dick Grayson in the head. Dick Grayson became Rick Grayson, left the Bat family, got amnesia, met with Beatrice, had a relationship. He became a Talon. We had this whole Core of Owls storyline. He got controlled by the Joker and then got his memories back. But now that his memories are back, KGBeast is like, no. I'm not being ridiculed by my friends about how I didn't kill Nightwing. This is the first guy he hasn't killed, other than like Batman, you know? So he's like, I gotta finish the job, but this time instead of sniping him, I'm gonna do it up close. So last thing we saw KGBeast show up, attack Nightwing and Beatrice at like the bar, and he has Beatrice in his hands, about to kill her. And Nightwing has to save Beatrice and save himself. But by the end of this issue, will Nightwing and Beatrice still be a thing? Will KGBeast be defeated? And how does this issue pretty much start this whole new era of Nightwing? Well, we're gonna find out right now as we dive into Nightwing number 76. KGBeast holds Beatrice in his hands. He says, as for this one, since you seem to care about her, she dies first. And Nightwing looks up and he remembers all the memories of being controlled by the Joker, being shot in the head, me and Beatrice, being Rick Grayson. But he's back. He's Dick Grayson again. Now he gets up and says, B is a part of this. Leave her alone. Now, KGBeast points his gun at Nightwing and says, and blow your brains out instead? Duh. Then I finished the girl. He points his guns. Nightwing gets out his Eskrima sticks and goes to attack. But before he attacks though, KGBeast points the gun even closer, says, tonight, I make up for the only bad shot I ever made. But Beatrice breaks out of his hold and elbows him in the face and says, no, you're a chuck. Now, that's when she blocks the gun, actually pushes the gun, you're up, damn. And she says, I won't let you. Now, KGBeast hits her to the ground, punches her in the face, and that's when Dick says, leave her alone. And he hits KGBeast in the face with his sticks. Now, he had Chuck. Now, that's when Nightwing presses KGBeast up against his window and says, you owe me. And we see this quiet couple just walking down the street past his window. And the man says, such a quiet night that we might as well grab some. And that's when we see Nightwing throw KGBeast through the window, and Nightwing says, I'm here to collect. You got scash. And the man says, dinner? The couple are frightened, alright? Because they just got caught in the middle of this big fight, right? Now, that's when this car barely comes around KGBeast, you're a screech, and the man in the car says, idiot. Now, that's when KGBeast gets up, but Nightwing kicks KGBeast in the face and says, you didn't have the guts to fight me straight up. Now, you're a pack. And that's when KGBeast, he falls to the ground. Nightwing says, try to put me down from a building across the street. Because you knew you couldn't take us on and win. You were afraid. He hits KGBeast with his Eskrima sticks, and Beatrice watches from afar. She says, I don't believe what I'm seeing. Seeing Dick like this in costume, he seems different. Like he's from another world. One I can't understand. Now KGBeast throws these stars at Nightwing. He says, I fear no one. Now Nightwing blocks the stars here at Patang, and Dick says, Bull, you use distance as a shield. Pulling the trigger from far away saves you from confronting your target up close. Now KGBeast says, liar. He goes to shoot, and you hear bram, but Nightwing jumps up and dodges it. He says, after you shot me, you didn't have the stones to face Batman. You ran away. And KGBeast says, yet. And that's when Nightwing hits KGBeast's face into a window of a car. You get scash. And Dick says, like the gutless coward you are. And that's when he kicks KGBeast even farther into a window. You get skitash. Now, that's when Beatrice watches again. She says, is this what he does every day? I mean, it's not like a job where he gets paid. It's a mission, a calling. I feel like I'm seeing Dick Grayson for the first time. Now, Nightwing throws KGBeast out into the street and he says, you missed. Your status as a big-time assassin is shot. Can't wait to hear what they'll say about you after tonight. Now, yo, was. KGBeast hits the ground. KGBeast gets up with his gun. He says, they'll call me the best when I'm wearing your bullet-riddled skull as my trophy. Now, Nightwing dodges another shot, you're up, but damn. And Dick says, not so easy when you're fighting up close. when your opponent can track your eyes and react. And KGB shoots again, you're a Bram! And KGB says, the bat let me die, but I beat death, and I'll beat you. But Nightwing hits KGB with his scrimmage sticks once again, you're a crack. And Dick says, you want to see a beating? My pleasure. KGB falls to the ground, and KGB says, dodging bullets is one thing, and he loads up his gun, you're a kachak. But that's when you see he's about to blast, you're a brrrr, and KGB says, a max caliber dispersal grenade is different. But that's when Nightwing throws his scrimmage stick, he says, not if it can't. A launch, and he hits the scrimmage stick into the gun, you're a thump, and then, and then KGB watches, and you have a big explosion, and you have a boom, and then KGB yells as the whole gun goes off and shoots him back. Now, Beatrice says, good God, and KGB's on the ground, bloody, says, you're like Batman, you'll walk away, you'll let me die. Now, Nightwing tears off part of his costume when you hear a strip, and Dick says, I'm not Batman, not like him at all. You interrupted me when you shot me, you know. And KGB says, what God are you talking about? And Dick says, when you shot me, I was in the middle of a sentence, as I was about to say at the time. That's the problem with Napkin Man. He just doesn't follow the normal Bat protocol. He just wipes away all the clues. Get it? And you're a scrunch. And KGB says, I will live to kill you. And Dick says, and I'll be waiting. Now, Dick thinks, he says, if I have to face KGB again, so be it. But it's also another chance for him to go after Beatrice. How can I possibly live with the idea that she'll be in danger because of me? Now, that's when Hutch, he shows up as a firefighter, he gets some help, and Dick tells him, hey, you could become a vigilante again, you be another Nightwing, and Hutch is like, oh, cool, that sounds great. And that's when he says, hey, let me take care of KGB's, put him, take care of him, we put him in prison, and now I'll become a Nightwing again. So that's what we get with Hutch, which is a very quick, abrupt scene, but we see Nightwing. He goes over to Beatrice, and Beatrice says, hey, and Dick says, hey, and he runs over, and he thinks, all those weeks with Bae were a bit cloudy, not anymore. I remember everything, each and every special moment, how much she means to me, how much I love her, which is only going to make this harder. And Nightwing grabs her and says, we have to talk. They start to walk, and Dick says to her, I hope you weren't too frightened by what just went down. And Beatrice says, at first, but watching the way you handled yourself, I could see how confident you were. That made me confident. And Dick says, great, happy to hear it. Now he remembers what Batman said to him. The man knew us better than we could ever know ourselves. He's talking about Alfred. And Dick responds, understood the price this life can take away, and pray we find a way not to pay it. Now Batman says, impossible. Happiness, certainly if it's of the house with the white picket fence variety, is not an option for us. Now that's when Beatrice is talking to Dick as Dick kinda daydreams. He remembers his talk with Batman. Beatrice says, it'll be so nice to have you back, so we can be like we were, happy, right? Dick doesn't respond. Beatrice says, right? I mean, you do remember us being together, everything we shared, what we meant to each other. Dick looks out, and Dick says, I'm sorry, Beatrice. The memories of us as a couple, yeah, they came back. But the feelings didn't. When I was Rick and with you, it's like I was a really different person, and that guy no longer exists. Now, Beatrice starts to cry. She says, I don't, what are you saying? And Dick says, you'll always be important to me, and I hope that we can be friends and everything, but that's when Beatrice pushes Dick back and says, friends, I don't ever want to see or hear from you again. She walks away, and Dick says, how can I do this to her? How can I be such a jerk? And she goes through a door and closes it, and Dick says, I can stop this. Tell her I was lying, and no. He saw me as different. Dick remembers the final parts of his conversation with Batman in issue number 75, and Dick says, Alfred encouraged me to break free from that abyss, and Batman says, you can try, but it doesn't work like that for anyone. Dick takes off his mask, and you see he's crying. He's sad, but that's when he puts on the mask. He goes to the edge of the rooftop, and he jumps. He's Nightwing once again. The status quo is back. There's no longer anything about Rick Grayson, and now we just have to see where Nightwing goes from here. So guys, that was Nightwing number 76, and I thought it was a pretty solid issue, alright? It wasn't a great issue. I thought issue number 75 was better, but I did like the fight between KG Beast and Nightwing, alright? It was really dope. Like, yeah, a lot of great action sequences. Like, guys, the artist of this issue, Ronan Klinquet, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He did great art, right? Especially that double page spread at the beginning. Looked really cool. Pretty much recapping everything. Seeing Dick shot, seeing him get controlled by the Joker, seeing KGB's having Beatrice. It recapped everything in a very cool way. Now, we saw Dick fight off against, like, KGBs through, like, the car, hit him with the scrimmage sticks. KGB's trying to shoot multiple times, but Nightwing keep, like, the dodging and stuff, and then throwing his scrimmage stick and causing, like, an explosion, defeating KGBs. I thought that was really good. It was, like, the highlight of the issue, for me at least. Seeing Dick back and just using all of his different abilities, all his different fighting skills, it was great, right? Because I feel like sometimes with the Batman comics, it just goes to a very quick fist fight. And I don't like that, because I know these characters, Bat family members, know a lot of martial arts. So to see Dick use these martial arts and also use his acrobatic skills is great. I like that addition to the issue. Now, KGB gets defeated, and Nightwing kind of gets like his revenge in a way, because he gets the fish, just lying about the napkin man. That was nice. It brought some resolution. And KGB's, he was just he was cool. He has a great design. He was a great photo, Nightwing. But that's about it. But I think that's all we need. He didn't really need to be developed in this whole story arc because there's only 2 parts. It was more just to help Nightwing finish off his feud with KG Beast, which Dan Jurgens did a great job at. Now, the other part of this issue is Beatrice. Because, guys, that's the last thing left of the Rick Grayson saga. Like, guys, everything else, well, actually, no. There's one other thing with, like, the Nightwings, which we'll get to that soon. But Beatrice, you see her, she hits KG Beast. I like that. Like, guys, the art actually shows it very well in this issue. But throughout the Nightwing and KG Beast fight, Beatrice pretty much sees that Nightwing is, like, from another world in a way. It's a world that she doesn't really recognize, a life she doesn't recognize. It just shows how different these 2 people are. Beatrice, she lives in Gotham. She's a bartender. She has a different life. Where Nightwing, he's a hero. He's a Bat family member. They're way different. It shows that Beatrice, she doesn't really understand it. And I do feel like at the end where she accepts it, she's like, hey, you're confident, so I'm confident. I felt that like that was a little abrupt. And then Nightwing is just, or Dick is just like, yeah, we're done. We can be friends though. He friend zones her. I was like, oof, that is rough. And obviously Beatrice doesn't like that and she leaves. And Dick remembers what Batman said, and he kind of cries, and then he jumps off a building, right? Off a rooftop. I like that. That was good. It was kind of heavy-handed. It felt like it was like, alright, we gotta get rid of this girl. Like, she's not really important anymore. She may come back in the future. I hope she does, because I don't like how it's like Dick Grayson gets a girlfriend, and then right when they break up, that girl, she's gone. Like, all she had, the only substance she had was her relationship with Dick Grayson, nothing else. Like, they really need to change that up with Dick Grayson's, like, lovers, right? Like, his girlfriends. But for now, though, we got Beatrice. She's gone for good. And Dick jumping out of that rooftop shows that we're leaving the Rick Grayson era and we're going back into classic Nightwing, which I am excited for that. And next issue, I think we actually have, like, a Christmas-themed issue, which is going to be great. I'm excited to see Nightwing beat up on some villains, deal with Gotham City, deal with May Bloodhaven. I don't know, just to see Nightwing back in the costume. Yes, he's on his own. Sucks that he had to break up with Beatrice, but kind of makes sense. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, I don't like how they handled it, but I'm still cool with Nightwing being single. Like, come on. It's cool to see him just back, alright? Back as what he was before he got shot. Actually, this is the Nightwing that I remember probably at the beginning of DC Rebirth, which that's like 4 years ago. And I really like that Nightwing. Now, we have that Christmas-themed issue next month, and then we got Future State, which that's just going to be like a future Nightwing. And then March, I heard there's going to be like an Omniverse special thing with like Jeff Johns and stuff, and then it's going to be like a relaunch. So we're probably getting a Nightwing relaunch, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, guys, one more thing to address. That whole scene with Hutch where Nightwing's like, hey, you can be a vigilante again. Hutch is like, cool, and he just goes off. I feel like that was kind of, that was so shoehorned in there and didn't really make that much sense. It'd be one thing if Hutch showed up, hey, I'll take care of this, we good, Nightwing? And Nightwing's like, yep, we good. That would've been fine. But to just tell Hutch that, yeah, you can put on the Nightwing costume again, I don't really like that. I hope he doesn't. Because Nightwing being back is good enough. We don't need to have the Nightwings, this whole group of firefighters and police, taking up the role, because there's no point anymore. So I hope Dan Jurgens doesn't really embrace that at all. Like, you have to get rid of Beatrice, get rid of the Nightwings too. Like, they're not really interesting compared to Beatrice. But yeah, guys, overall, this issue, I thought it was solid. It was a solid end to the whole Rick Grayson storyline, a solid end to KGB's and Dick Grayson's feud, and I'm excited to see where Nightwing goes from here. So yeah, I'm gonna give this issue an 8 out of 10. I thought it was solid, I recommend it. But yeah, guys, comment down below what you thought about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And tell me your theories on what you expect from Nightwing comics in the future. But yeah, guys, if you liked the video, give a big thumbs up, comment below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Nightwing video. But yeah, I guess there's nothing left to say, but thanks for watching, and peace out.